Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is just going to be a straight up get ready with me. I have not filmed one of these videos in 2023, which feels kind of weird because typically prior to this I was doing a get ready with me monthly. So I realized I was kind of behind on doing one of these. There has been a lot going on in my life, a lot going on in the world. So I thought it was a good time. It was appropriate to do a get ready with me. I'm just kind of using a combination of like shop my stash stuff, project panning stuff. I'm going to be using this particular palette today, the Truly Madly Deeply palette from ColourPop. And yeah, I don't really have a game plan for the look, so we're gonna roll with it. I'll zoom you in a little bit and we'll start with the eyes. Alright, I'm going to throw on a little lip balm first. I'm going to throw on this Lineage lip sleeping mask. This is the gummy bear flavor, I think. It is my favorite. It's stronger than the other ones. I would say it's like a favorite right now. Like if I were to buy a full size, I already looked up, you can get this in the full size. I would probably prefer, which surprises me because I normally like the one that I've been using was the chocolate mint one, which and there's another vanilla one that I like. Like I like both of those, but I really like that gummy bear one. It kind of caught me by surprise. So I'm just gonna go in with my e.l.f. Camo, Hydrating Camo Concealer to sort of set the base of my eyes. Need to figure, it's been so long since I've done one of these, I don't know my setup. I don't know how I'm gonna, where are things? What am I doing? Can't see my computer that way. There we go. Okay, so how y'all doing? How's it going? I obviously look and sound a lot better than I have in the past month. It's been a rough go. I'm gonna be honest with that. Harley is gone. I can say that without having a meltdown now. I might have a meltdown in a few minutes, but we're okay right now. I actually did film. I talked about I do want to do a video about Harley. It's going to be sort of a two-parter talking about Harley because I want to do something that sort of is a bit of a tribute to him. And then I also want to talk about sort of the topic of pet loss. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but it's sort of fresh in my life right now, and it's something I do want to talk about. I filmed a video yesterday. I filmed for 2.5 hours. So obviously I need to refilm that because I always have a lot to say and a lot to talk about, but that's not a viable video. I don't want to edit that, first of all. I was also kind of a hot mess in parts. I mean, I'm going to refilm it, and I'm probably still going to be a hot mess in parts. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Yeah, so I need to refilm that. And so I'm not going to talk much about Harley in this video just because I'm going to dedicate a whole video to that. But then a couple of weeks later, so I was definitely in a rough state from that, not really taking care of myself, not really able to eat or sleep very well. Work was very busy. I changed jobs, which is, again, something else to talk about. And I got COVID, which I'm not surprised that happened then because I was really run down. I made it 3 years. I made it almost the whole 3 years from the start, but not quite. And it hit me hard. I'm not gonna lie. Again, partially I think because I was so run down. I had a fever for 4 to 5 days, and that was when I was the sickest. I had one day where I think I clocked 300 steps in my Fitbit because I basically would get up. I was on the couch, I'd get up to go to the bathroom, I'd get up to maybe make tea or something, and then I'd sit back on the couch again. I could barely move. I wasn't sleeping necessarily, I couldn't sleep, but I was very tired. Physically, it was very hard to move. And after the fever lifted, so that was when I started my new job. So I still had a fever on the first day of my new job, but I was working from home. So I started my new job working from home, but that first week, was really rough. I definitely was still sick that first week. Coughing, not a whole lot of coughing, but just a lot of phlegm. Like, that was the worst part. I still have a little bit of that going on, which is really frustrating. And that's going to start overlapping probably with allergy season, so yay. What shade am I going to go in? I was just kind of setting with this shade. I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to do a purple look. So we're going to go in with this shade in the crease. So yeah, that first week was really rough because I was trying to learn a new job. I was obviously physically not great. I would work till like the end of the workday, and then I would go lie on the couch and do nothing. Like, I've never watched more TV in the past like 5 years than I did in those like 3-4 weeks, like between Harley and COVID. I watched a lot of TV. And again, not necessarily that I watched it sometimes. Like, sometimes I was just kind of like in and out, you know, maybe sleeping a little bit here and there. And then, yeah, that was just a very weird time. But I am feeling more human now. Like, I would say so I did go to the office this past week for the first time. So like probably a good 2 weeks after I got sick, or almost 2 weeks. And I felt okay. I wore a mask just in case. But that really kind of knocked me out. Like, the Thursday, I felt terrible again on the Thursday. And then by Friday, I felt a lot better. So yeah, I'm definitely on the up and up. I would say the biggest thing is, like I said, I'm kind of still phlegmy, and I'm still feeling super weak. Like, I haven't been working out at all. Like, I would say since the fall. Like, I have not been doing weights. I have not been working out. I've not been doing anything. So I feel physically very weak right now. Very fatigued easily. I feel like when I'm walking, like when I walked to the office, I can't walk fast. My walk is very slow. I feel like I'm going in slow motion a little bit. So yeah, it's been interesting. And yeah, just kind of monitoring. Like, I have a Fitbit, so I can see all of my level. Everything's all off. Like, my heart rate's super high. My oxygen's a little bit lower. Just everything's all wonky. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been real fun. So, speaking of new job, so yeah, they had called me, my new boss had called me about offering my job, like the offer. So I had this interview for this job back in January. I actually had 2 interviews in one day for 2 different jobs. I thought I might have got the other one because they did call for references, but then they never called again. So I don't know what happened there, which I'm not mad about because I'm not sure I really wanted that job. But this one was definitely one that I thought, I'm going to go in with this shade. This is one that the job that I'm doing now is the one that I kind of was more keen on. One of the reasons being, when I looked at this job, it's in an office. Like, I work for the government and there's offices all over the place. This office is actually closer than my old job's office. And I was thinking about Harley and thinking about, well, that'll make it easier. I can like come home for lunch, take him for walks, like just be easier to be in the office. These are not very purple. Okay, let's not do that. I want to wipe that off. Why did I pick that color? That's not what I wanted to do. I was going to go purple, even though the crease is not really purple at all either. I'm having the I can't do 2 things at once moment right now. I'm going to go in with this color. So yeah, that was kind of one of the factors of wanting to do this job. It was also a job that was kind of really out of my comfort zone. Based on like the job description, in an area that I knew nothing about, be to me a bit more of a challenge in that sense because it was like a whole new learning experience. So it is technically a temporary job. So I've been sort of like, we call it secondment. I've been seconded to this job. So I still have my home position in my previous job, which is going to be interesting going forward, but you know, I'm still kind of early days right now, so kind of seeing how things go. So like I said, it's been rough because I've been like, you know, it's the fire hose. You're the fire hose of information, just trying to take everything in, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to learn all sorts of new things. So it's been tricky. But the interesting thing that's happened is they kind of raised that they were having an issue with sort of data management. And I was like, oh, are you now? I might know some things. I might have to go wipe my face off after the fallout there. Maybe we're okay. I was like, oh. So somebody asked if this job was IT. It's not technically, but like there's IT everywhere. Everybody's using systems. Everybody uses web pages. Everybody uses applications for like everything now. So IT is everywhere. So they were kind of mentioning, oh, like I was hired to do a specific thing, especially a specific part of a program. But then they're like, oh, we're having some data issues. I'm like, oh, well, and I was kind of showing, like, I was kind of looking at this, and I created this database, and and it's like, yeah, this is stuff I can do. Because my former life, like, prior to working in the government, I used to be a database administrator. My background is IT. I worked at a database company. So it's kind of my comfort zone in terms of work. I mean, I'm really rusty at it right now because I haven't done it for at least early in the pandemic. I kind of used a little bit of those skills because I was doing a ton of reporting. I was kind of loaned out to a team that was doing PPE procurement stuff. So, yeah, I was doing some sort of data stuff at that time, but that's the last time I was really doing data kind of stuff. And I'm going to go in with this darker purple. We're going to go in with this color in the crease. I feel like this eye look is just not, it's not going as expected, but we're just going to roll with it. I can't find my favorite little Sonia G brush. I don't know where it is. I don't know what I've done with it. And I'm a little annoyed. It's sort of like a pencil brush. Like it's got a pointed tip on it, but it's still kind of a soft brush. Anyway, I realized that this has kind of really got me excited, and I've made a lot of progress in helping them. I hope. Like, we've got a plan. I've got a plan. We have something that's probably going to work. I have actually spent some time this weekend working on it. I'm not excited. And I also, like, this is kind of something that they needed done ages ago, so we're kind of already behind the gun already, so it kind of needs to get done quickly. And yeah, I'm just really jazzed about it. And it's this has kind of been a personal reckoning or awakening. In my previous job, I was doing a lot of writing, I guess is the best way to say it, and consultations, writing and consultations. So not data involvement whatsoever. And while I could do the work, I mean, I did it, I got it done. I got, some pretty big files completed. I really struggled. Like I really had to, like it was really out of my comfort zone, really out of my skill set. And it was hard. Like I felt very drained after everything. Like everything made me really drained. I had to really force myself to like, okay, just get this done. Just work through this piece, like break things down. I was even still kind of using some of my own data management stuff by taking like text data and putting it in Excel files and trying to sort and organize, because that's how my brain works. So doing this sort of like data management type stuff with databases, I feel jazzed, I feel excited. It's kind of similar to, I talked about a while ago, I think, back when the pandemic started, I actually took a Python course. It was like an online course, like with actual classes online in the evening with people. It was through like Harvard or MIT. It was like actually a really cool program. Or Berkeley, I don't remember. It was through like a university in the States. And I really enjoyed that. And I actually have signed up for a Udemy Python course that I started in August. The instructor changed the whole course in October. So then like all of that work that I did, I was like, I can't finish that course because there's a new course. So I started the new course. I'm like 50% through the new course. But the fact that I was like eager to do this on my own, to do like the Python programming on my own, this particular data management, I'm really eager to do on my own. I have so much fallout. I look like I've been beat up. it's kind of, it says a lot to me in terms of what I want to do going forward. And this is going to be a hard thing because I want to go back to more technical stuff, but I've been kind of out of the technical stuff. So trying to get back into the technical stuff is going to be really tricky. And it makes me nervous because, like, anything in tech is hard because you have to learn all the time. Like, you're always dumb at it. Like, you will never ever be an expert. You will be an expert to a certain point, but then things are always changing. I'm gonna go wipe this ball out and then come back. So yeah, it's just kind of made me realize that I do need to think about future career. Like I said, I'm on a secondment right now. It's kind of dark. I need to change the lighting. That's too bright. That's better. That's better. There we go. I really need to think about, sort of the future. Because the thing that I'm kind of doing right now that I'm excited about, it's sort of a time-limited thing. Once I'm kind of done, once we've kind of sorted out this thing, that's it in terms of the data management. I was brought on to the team, like I said, to do something completely different. So I've got to, rally myself to work on the other thing that I'm not so jazzed about, but needs to get done as well. But I think I can do it. So, I'm kind of doing two different things right now at work. So it's really, really busy. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. And I like the people. I mean, I've only met them for 2 weeks. But so far, I like the people on the team. So that makes, that was something I was super concerned about. You never know what kind of team you're coming into, what they're like, what the culture's like. Are you going to jive with them? I have had a few jobs in the past where I've really I've been the odd man out and it's really uncomfortable. But yeah, so far so good with the new job, but it's definitely I've had to sort of, it's all new. I'm going to have to figure out new working patterns. It's a new office. So even just lunchtime, figuring out what I'm going to do, those kinds of things. Let's start doing the rest of the face. So I'm going to start, where did my concealer go? I had a concealer. Oh, there it is. I feel like I need to clear my throat all the time. So yeah, it just feels like it's a very weird time for me right now. I feel like with Harley gone, with starting this new job, it's a whole brand new chapter in my life. The last 3 years was a chapter, and now I'm in this brand new chapter. So it's kind of turned me on my head a little bit, trying to adjust to new patterns, new schedules. Like I said, I haven't been working out, so I need to get back to working out. But yeah, it's been so far so good on this new job. But yeah, it just makes me think about working and career and the rest, what I want to do going forward. And there are things I love to do, and I just need to find a job where I can do that ongoing, I guess, or at least for the next little while. I think when I was in tech before, I burnt out. That's part of the problem is I get super excited and I start doing all this work, but then I burn myself out. And in my last job before I went to the government, I definitely burnt out. But our whole team kind of burnt out. It was a disaster. I shouldn't say a disaster, but it wasn't a great time. I'm going to put it's kind of bright, Artless Glow Base from Heimish on as my primer. This has got SPF in it. Although I'm probably not going to go outside. But I mean, there's a bit of sun. This is not direct sunlight. It's reflected light into my apartment. I'm going to film this video. I'm going to refilm the Harley video, and then I'm going to get back to doing the work that I was doing. I'm so exciting. But speaking of exciting, I do have a trip planned. So I've talked about this on and off that, prior to this, I talked about an Italy trip. But outside of that, we've kind of talked about going back to Scotland. I was there in 2012. I don't know the last time my dad was there though. They went to Ireland. I want to say 2015, maybe? I don't know if he went to Scotland. Yeah, he must have, because they went for a wedding. My mom's cousin's son's wedding, I think, or something like that. I think that was 2014 or 2015, I think. So for both of us, it's been a while. this trip. So speaking of work, I haven't got this approved with my new boss, so I need to have that conversation this week because I hope it's okay because it's coming up in May. It's going to be a longer trip because we're doing sort of a road trip. So it's like 2 weeks and a day. The day because it takes a day to get over there. Like you lose a day when you fly over there. So yeah, it's going to be a 2-week trip and we're doing sort of northern Scotland. So they call it the North Coast 500. So if you look up NC 500 or North Coast 500, that's what we're doing. We're going to see if we can maybe stop in to see family. It's going to be tricky. So this is a really interesting thing. When certain connections are gone. So my mom was the connection to our family there. And when I used to go to Scotland, like I used to go every year when I was a teenager, we would stay with my mom's cousin. And obviously it was my mom that arranged all that. And then since my mom passed away, I don't have any of that information. I'm certain she emailed my cousin. My mom's cousin was a lot older than my mom. Kind of some kids were born before the war, some were born after. My mom was born after the war, but her cousins and 2 of her siblings were born before the war. So yeah, it's just interesting that we have family over there, but we're not really well connected anymore because of my mom passing. And that kind of makes me sad. I don't know how to fix that. Again, I have to figure out how to reach out to them. And hopefully we'll be able to at least stop by and see them. And then we're going to do this little road trip, which is going to be interesting because we have to drive on the other side of the road. I have never driven over there, so that's going to be challenging. My dad has not driven over there in a long time. I think that last trip that they did, he didn't drive. In the past, my dad has driven. He has almost killed us because he used to always... There's a lot more manual cars over there, and he knows how to drive a manual, but he doesn't drive it regularly. I'm just going to go in with my eyeliner. Actually, you know what? I'm going to powder my face first. I want to kind of set this foundation. I used the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation Fresh Wear, this one, in 415. This kind of sets fairly well on its own. Like it's not a super tacky foundation, but I do feel like I need to set. I always feel like I need to set foundation. I'm just going to set it with the L'Oreal Infallible powder. Focus. Super shiny. There we go. So yeah, they typically have manual cars over there. So that was a challenge trying to find a automatic because I don't know how to drive a standard. But yeah, my dad doesn't normally drive a standard. So he's stalled in like traffic before when there's been like oncoming traffic when you're trying to turn, I guess, right. Yeah, very scary. And yeah, so we have rented or I've reserved a automatic and I hope we get it. Like, I hope there's not an issue with that because it seemed like it was a bit tricky. They don't have as many automatics. Because yeah, I don't know how to drive that. And I'm concerned about my dad driving a manual or a standard in Scotland because he hasn't done it in so long. So it'll be fun though. It'll be interesting. I'm a little stressed about it. But so far everything has been booked. The flight's been booked. Like I said, the car has been reserved. What am I doing? Let's just finish up the face then. I'm gonna go in with the Ofra Duo Bronzer in River from the Samantha March collection. This is super pigmented, so I have to be somewhat delicate with it. Ow. I've booked all of our hotel stays, so that was the next trip I do. I want it to be like super bright, super bright. The next trip I do, I want to be like an all-inclusive or something because booking like 10 different places because you drive to like one place, then you stop, you stay there for the night, then you drive to the next part, and you know, so there's like 10 different places we're staying, I think. Okay, so my camera cut me off because the memory card was full. That was kind of a new situation for me. So what I was last saying was I was talking about booking a ton of places in Scotland. I took the opportunity to finish up my bronzer. That's what I was doing when it cut off, and then I did my eyebrows as I was cleaning up my hard disk or my memory card. So I need to change the lighting again. The lighting is just all over the place here. There, is that a little bit better? It's kind of bright, but not too That's probably better, I think. So yeah, I booked like 10 different places. And the thing that I was saying when my video cut me off is the funny thing about Europe, well, I'm not sure about the rest of Europe, but about, I don't include Great Britain as Europe, but the funny thing about Great Britain, England, Scotland, pretty sure it's England as well, is they have rooms that are like 2 twin beds. We don't really have that in North America. I'm guessing it's because room sizes are smaller over there. Like a lot of the buildings were built smaller, especially the older buildings, which that's the type of room that I booked for my dad and I. So it was a bit tricky to like try and find. The one thing that I've learned is I probably should have booked rooms like 6 months ago. Although we didn't have this sort of fully solidified by then. But yeah, it was a lot to go through. I think there's about 10 different places I've booked over the 2 weeks. Like a couple of places we're staying for a couple of nights. And I mean, it should be fun, but I am a little stressed because it's going to be kind of a busy trip. Doing all that driving and staying at different places, like we'll be living out of the Suitcase. But I'm looking forward to, like, it should be beautiful, I'm hoping we get decent enough weather in May. We will find out. I talked about in my last buys and buys, I bought a new jacket for the trip. I'll probably buy a new suitcase because I realized we don't really have a suitcase that's the size I want. And the one that is the size that I like is the one that I have that's pretty old. And I just don't think it's gonna survive all that like in and out and wheeling around and stuff. So I would kind of like to buy a new suitcase. I've seen people do trips where they do it all with a carry-on. I'm not doing that. It's not necessary. So I'm not doing that. I'm definitely bringing a like normal size suitcase. I bought this one suitcase that's like ginormous for when I went to Trinidad, and I don't know why I bought it, and I regret buying it. And I've never used it since that trip. And I don't know what to do with it. Like, I guess I could maybe try and sell it. But like, I don't even know if anybody else wants a suitcase that big. I think maybe my brother can take it if and when he moves back out west. Take it. Ship some stuff to yourself in the suitcase, because I don't want it. I'm going to go in. Oh, so the blush I used was the Tarty. The Tarte Party blush. And in Party. Tarte blush in Party. Oh, we're going to have to wrap up this video soon. And then I'm just doing the Start Inspired highlighter from, again, that Ofra Samantha collection. It's a pretty, like, I like this, got the pink and the yellow, so it turns out like a really nice champagne-y color, but it's very icy. Like, I feel like it's very, very blingy on me. So I feel like I need to buff it out quite a bit. I like to kind of take the powder brush, the brush that I use with my powder, and sort of soften it up that way. But, fun fact, so speaking of my buys and buys, like I've talked about, I'm not spending a lot of money right now. Just in general, I'm trying to save up money. One of the reasons is because I just bought a Sony, I think it's a ZV-1 is the name. It's like the vlogging camera that a lot of people have. So I will have a proper vlogging camera for when we go. I'm gonna have to test it out before we go. So that's the reason why I bought it now, because I want to spend like the next month or so playing with it. So there might be a vlog in the future, a Toronto City vlog maybe. Spring in the city, where it's kind of like gross right now still. But yeah, so I bought a new camera for that. I'm just gonna go in with the Essence Lash Princess in waterproof, because I am going to be filming that video about Harley right after this. So I'm definitely going to need this. So yeah, I'm going to vlog the trip and make videos just like I did with my Walt Disney trip. Hopefully, though, the content will be better because I will have a proper vlogging camera now. I hope it's going to be better. I'm going to take like my Canon. Like, we're driving, we have our own car, so it should be easier for me to take all my, like, filming stuff. I am going to take my Canon camera, what I'm filming on right now, with the 2 lenses. I didn't use the 2 lenses in, I don't even think I took my pancake lens. So I have like a lens that doesn't zoom. It's called a pancake lens. I don't use it a whole lot. But I'll take those 2 lenses. Yeah, take all my filming stuff. I'm not gonna like edit there, so I'm not taking my laptop or anything. I'll do all the editing when I get home. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm also just like, oh, it's gonna be a big trip. And I know I'm gonna be exhausted after. And that kind of relates to, I guess, one of the last things I want to talk about, which again, I will probably talk about this in the video about Harley, is I will adopt again. I think what I'm going to do is foster. I'm not quite ready to foster right now. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, but I'm not ready just yet. I want to kind of take the next month or so. I'm going to have to do this next little part without talking. So I'm just going to do my lip liner. I'm doing the iconic nude lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. I still have not looked for a drugstore dupe for this, which is why I bought it. Someday. And then I'm just going to go in with the Tower 28. I think this is in Mix. It's their Juice Bomb. This is in my lip project pan. And that's it. That is the look. I'm going to go fix my hair and do me out a little bit. But what I was saying was, yeah, I'm not ready to foster or adopt just yet, but I'm going to wait until we get back from our trip. Because the trip is like, what, a month? 2 months away. I don't want to try and apply for a foster or a, probably will foster before I adopt. So I don't want to try for, like, apply for fostering, get a foster for like a few weeks, and then be like, sorry foster, I have to go on vacation. That's kind of not fair. It's too much chopping and changing for the dog. Likely I will be fostering a dog. And I might foster a cat. I don't know. But yeah, so I kind of want to wait till after, and I kind of want to use the next couple months to like just do some like house cleaning, spring cleaning. I kind of want to get painting the hallway behind me and like this wall you can kind of see. I haven't painted those yet, which I painted the rest of my living room like a year ago. So I want to get that painted. I kind of want to repaint my bathroom. I painted my bathroom white and I hate it. So I'm going to repaint it a color, probably gray, like a really light gray. But yeah, I kind of want to get myself sort of readjusted and resettled. Get my home sort of readjusted and resettled. There's a lot of things I haven't cleaned yet. Like I still have some of Harley's blankets out that I haven't washed. And I've just kind of left all that stuff out. But I think I'm going to leave all that stuff out because if I adopt, or when I adopt, it will hopefully all be useful. But yeah. So that's what's going on with that. So yeah, I'm kind of in this like new phase of just like with my new job, planning for the trip. And that's kind of where my mind is at. Like I haven't really thought about life post-trip yet. I'm just kind of focusing on those 2 things right now. So yeah, let me fix my hair and we'll be right back. So yeah, there is the final look from this palette. I really enjoy this palette. My biggest downside of this palette is it's got 3 glitters in it that I just don't really use. I thought about using this in this look today. I might throw it on later, but like I said, I want to film another video right after this, so I don't want to have all that glitter on my face. And it's hard to get the glitter off too. I feel like they could have gone with just like, they could have left maybe these 2 glitters. If you're gonna leave a glitter, I mean the best one is this one, which is that Hungry Ghost one. Like it's kind of a unique type glitter. I feel like this one is kind of meh, and I don't even know if I've used this one. So yeah, it's an enjoyable palette for me. Yeah, that's it. That's this video. Like I said, I feel like the past month I've experienced more change. I've experienced more change in 2023 than I have in the past 2 years. Like it's kind of, I feel like my whole world is a little upside down and I'm trying to just like readjust and figure out. I hate using this phrase because it was the phrase that I used after my mom passed away. It was the new normal. It's not as intense as that, but it's a new normal. Like I'm kind of adjusting to a new normal. I am a routine kind of person. I do like routine. So yeah, I'm in a phase of trying to figure out new routines, new habits, new patterns. And it's a lot. Go through a lot. I was going to use this eyeliner and I never used it. Oh well, whatever. So yeah. That's my get ready with me. That's my life update. That's what's going on. What's going on with you guys? Is there good news? Please share some good news. If you have some good news to share, please let us all know down below, because I would love to hear what's good in your life right now, because I hope there's good in your life. If you like this video, feel free to give a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.